All right. So we're on episode number 3. I was just telling my guest here that I'm getting better at this. So by the time we get to episode maybe 10, I think I'll be okay.
Okay.
I think I'll be okay. So my name is Tasha McCray, founder of the Nurse REI Club. And on today's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking with one of our, I want to say, founding members. Yeah.
I got in pretty early. Came in pretty early. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like within the first, like the second group, maybe.
When?
Like there was an initial core group, and then I came in right after that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So fairly early. So we're like a year, maybe a year and a half old now. So I think we're up to almost 1,000 people in the big Facebook group. Yeah.
Hey.
So we like quality over quantity. So we weren't trying to grow the group, fast or anything like that, because I mean, we put out some good stuff, and
it was
some serious stuff. So I want to welcome Leia to the podcast today.
Yeah. Hey everybody! Thank you.
Thank you, Leia, for coming on today. So before we get started, I introducing what you do and all that. I met Leia. My husband and I met Leia at a meetup when we first started in Louisiana, and Leia was the only one to show up. I mean, the only one to show up, and we ate at Acme in New Orleans, and we had such a great time. That was a good meetup. It was very intimate. We got to learn a lot about each other, so that was awesome. Don't despise small beginnings.
Oh no, not at all. Everybody starts, somewhere, and small is not a bad thing at all.
No, it's not. So I learned that you were a travel nurse when we met, and you were actually doing an assignment in Louisiana, in New Orleans, then, right? And so tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about being a travel nurse and what that looks like for you.
All right. Well, I've been a nurse total for about 12 years. And I've been traveling for about, this will make about 5 to 6 years now. So I move around state to state. And it's like, I'm a full-time travel nurse. I think the part about it that I love so much is the travel part, because I like to travel. As you know, I'm always posting pictures of somewhere I'm in.
What's that? Where's Leia now, or something like that?
Where in the world is Leia? Yes.
Where in the world is Leia?
Exactly. And that's my hashtag. And anybody that puts hashtag where in the world is Leia, I will let you know I'm in wherever. So for my travel nurse assignments, I move around state to state. Baltimore, Maryland is home. I'm currently in Houston, Texas, on an assignment here. And I like moving around to different places. It's a great way to see the country. It's a great way to, see different places, meet new people. It also helps you to stay sharp with your skills, because when you move around as a travel nurse, you don't get a lot of orientation and things like that. So it's like, you got to really, know what you know and roll with it. You got to be good at what you do. So I like it. I like the adventure. I like the change. The new things, new people, new places. So yeah, that's me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't wish, because I do travel a lot with my husband. So I wish I would have done a travel nurse thing, but I kind of sort of do.
Yeah.
So you had said that you meet new people all the time. How does that fit in with your real estate part? We'll get into your real estate investing later, but how does that fit in, meeting new people?
So what I found is that, and when I first started travel nursing, I wasn't thinking about the real estate investing side of it, but within the last year or two, especially since joining the Nurse REI Club, I've been thinking more to include real estate investing into my travel nursing. So what I do is when I go from place to place, I look up the REIAs in the area. So those are the Real Estate Investing Association. So say for instance, for example, here in Houston, COVID has changed a lot of things, and there's a lot of in-person meetings that are happening. However, the Houston REIA, the Real Estate Investing Association, is having a virtual meetup, and it's tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central. So I signed up to attend the virtual meeting for Houston. So when you attend the meetings, you get to meet a lot of different real estate investors. You can meet funders, you can meet investors, financial people, insurance people, contractors, other wholesalers, rehabbers, so you can make connections and start to grow relationships with people, even though they're not in your hometown. So that's one of the ways that I've connected travel nursing and real estate investing. Because for instance, say, okay, I'm from Baltimore, but I may want to do a flip in Houston, or a group home in Houston, or New Orleans or wherever. So if you attend, the REIAs, and a lot of times they're free. A lot of the meetings are free or very nominal fee to attend. And then you can, make connections with people in different areas. And then, if you keep those connections going, communicate with them, and then you never know what opportunity that may lead to later on as far as real estate investing. So.
Absolutely. So you kind of, you're living the best of both worlds, because you get to.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean, you get to travel, essentially for free, because you're working, as a nurse. So you get paid very well. Let's be clear.
Yes.
And then you're afforded an opportunity while you're in those hospitals and in that setting to meet doctors and other nurses and other disciplines in the healthcare setting. And you're able to talk about what you do as a real estate investor, and when you're already kind of like-minded anyway, because you're in the healthcare industry. So when you begin to tell them what you're doing, then, that gets the ball rolling, that gets the conversation going. And, I'm sure people are, they've told you, oh, well, I know so-and-so, they're investors as well, things like that. And so I think that's pretty cool that you're able to capitalize on both sides. I think it's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. It's good, because I'm of the mind that you should know how to do more than one thing. Nursing is great, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy the human side of it, taking care of people and helping people to get better. It really helps.
You froze up.
Somebody coming sick, and I see them progress back towards health. I love that. But it's important to know. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I back on? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to know, how to do more than one thing. Because if for some reason nursing were to stop, what else am I going to do in order to sustain myself, in order to, keep going, in order to build, continue to pay the bills and continue to invest and continue to take care of myself and, help others, like I love to do. So even outside of nursing. So that's one of the reasons why I still connect and keep connected with real estate.
Awesome. So tell me, how did you get started investing in real estate?
So I got started as a wholesaler in Baltimore City. And because I'm from Baltimore and I knew the area pretty well, as far as the different zip codes, which areas would be good to invest and which not so good. I started in Baltimore, and a Facebook friend of mine introduced me to a coach in Baltimore that was teaching people how to wholesale. So I contacted them and met up with them and did a couple deals. And so that's how I got my start in real estate investing, is through wholesale. My first deal, I got $1,500 from the assignment fee. The second deal was $7,500, and I'm actually going to be starting back up into wholesaling soon, in Baltimore again to, you know, keep that ball rolling. So that's how I got my start. And then once oops, sorry, my computer's being noisy. Once I, you know, got the basics of wholesaling, and I was like, okay, well, what other things can I do? Well, then I started learning about other types of investing, you know, whether it be notes, tax liens, rehabs, private investing, which the Nurse REI Club has helped me to do. I love that because it's like, let me just give you my money and I just get a return. I don't have to do anything for it. That's like the best. That's the best form of investment for me. I love it. Yes. So, so I started in wholesaling, and then from talking to different people and reading different like blogs and different books, and you know, just seeing what other people do, then I started learning about other types of investing as well.
So number one, and we talk about this all the time, you network, right? You're big into networking.
Yeah. Yeah, important, very important.
Number two, I heard you say that you met up with a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got with the mentor, someone who, you know, who did what you wanted to do. And then number three, obviously you must have put in the work because you closed on some wholesale deals.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And the first one was the second one, the first one was a little complicated. And it was hindsight, I was kind of glad that I got the complicated deal first, because then I know now, I understand now how that works. And then my second deal was like breeze, easy. So I was like, well, I'm glad I got the hard one first.
Okay, so can you walk us through the first deal? Like, how did you find the property?
Yes. So what I did was I did a card campaign. I did a mailing campaign. Okay. Where I used the online system, and you set criteria for what type of property you're looking for. You set the areas that you're looking in, and there's like a script that you can put, and it comes in like it looks like a little postcard that goes out, like a 3x5 or 8x10 kind of postcard. And so you set the criteria, and the system you pay whatever, and it's per how many other cards you want to send out, and the system mails it out for you. So I was looking for absentee owners. So owners who they don't live in the property, and the property has been vacant for a while. And more than likely, those people, they're tired of the property. They don't even live in it, and it's not generating any income for them because it's vacant. Yep. So a lot of times they're like, I just want to get rid of this, but they don't know how, because they may owe on it still. You know, it may be damaged, you know. So those are the kind of properties that a lot of times wholesalers will look for. Mm-hmm. So I did a mailing campaign where I sent out those to different zip codes, and the owner called. Okay. She called the number on the postcard, and she said, yes, I want to sell my property. She was either in the middle of divorce or just recently divorced, and she was moving out of Maryland, and she wanted to like cut all ties with anything in Baltimore. Yep. So she was like, listen, I want this property. She owed like $12,000 on it as far as the mortgage. I want to get out of this. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. Get it off my hands. So I was like, okay, you know, I can do that for you. So once we got the property, and my mentor helped me with this because this was my first deal. Yeah. So he had already had a list of buyers that he had worked with before, mm-hmm. So that he could send the property to. Mm-hmm. So now I did some legwork as far as getting buyers also, mm-hmm. And I've developed a list of potential buyers, other investors who want properties And they, a lot of times they will partner with the wholesaler. The wholesaler will send them the deal and they'll, you know, work with the wholesaler. So I had the property and my mentor had the buyer's list of the potential investors. So after we met with the owner and then,
all right. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Everybody knows everybody's working from home. So everybody's on Zoom, and if you have pets, you already know. All right, so okay, so you were working on your list of buyers as well. Yeah.
Right, so I got my list of buyers, and then we met with the owner at the property. So we set up a date and time to meet the owner, and she, you know, she told us to come. She let us in the property, and we took pictures and videos of what the property looked like. So anybody who potentially wanted to buy would see exactly what the property looked like. They could potentially see any damage that they would have to fix, or, you know, anything. There was a lot of trash in the place. You know, a lot of times it's like the places are a mess, but you know, that's a part of the that's a part of it, because a lot of times when houses are left vacant, the people who were there just leave, and then nobody comes in afterwards to clean up. So you know, you gotta get it cleaned out. So we took pictures and videos of the place. And then what we did was we put together like a flyer. We went on like Microsoft Word and put some of the pictures, put a picture on the flyer, some of the details. So we would put like the address of the property, how many beds, how many baths, and the price. Okay. So, and then Dropbox, we would use like something like Dropbox, or you can use Google Drive. If you have like a lot of pictures and a lot of video, you can't put it all on the flyer. So we use that to have the additional photographs and videos in Dropbox or Google Drive. Yeah. So after we made the flyer, and then how we arrived at the price was, so the owner wanted $12,000 because that's what she owed. She didn't want anything for the property. She just wanted to clear the mortgage and go. So we knew that we had to get definitely no less than $12,000, because that's what the mortgage was on the property. So for the assignment fee is what either wholesaler made on the deal. So what we did is we went on Zillow and we looked up other properties in the area, like within a 2 to 3 block radius. Similar properties. So the property that I had was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, I think. So I went onto Zillow and I changed the criteria to 3-bed, 1-bath, cash for sale by owner, like cash sale. And I looked within the last 6 months to a year prior. So this deal was like in, I think it was like a February. So I looked from February the previous year to see what cash prices similar properties sold for. And a lot of them were going some 18,000, 19,000, 22. So I knew then, okay, well, I can set my price, because you don't want to set your price so high that everybody's laughing at you like, no, I'm not paying that much for that property. No, thank you. And then you definitely don't want to set your price lower than what the minimum is. So 12,000. And then if you want to make anything, you got to set your spread right. So I think we wholesaled the property for 18,000. I'm sorry, no. We wholesaled.
You got it under contract with the seller for how much?
For 15.
Okay.
15,000. So then we because it was 1,500 and 1,500. Because I was working with the mentor, we split the whole assignment fee. So it was 12,000 was what she wanted, and then the assignment fee was 3,000. So 15,000 is the price that we then gave to the buyers, to the potential buyers.
Okay.
So when we sent out our email to the buyers, we marketed the property as being on sale for 15,000.
So you must have got it under contract with her for 12. If
For
she
12,
wanted,
yeah.
yeah, and then
She didn't
and
want.
then yeah, she didn't want any money. Okay, and then you got
Right.
it. Then you flip the contract for 15, so that you and your mentor could split 3,000 down the middle.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Correct.
That wasn't a bad deal for your first deal.
Not bad, especially for the first deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
First deal. Not bad at all. Not bad at
Yeah.
all. And it was a learning experience for me because it was brand new to me. I had never done it before, first time. And my mentor was very patient. He literally walked step by step. This is what you do.
Yeah.
Step 1, step 2, step 3,
Mm-hmm.
and very strategic and methodical in what we needed to do. And then we got to the closing process, which was with the title company.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So was that before or after you did the wholesale class with us, the Nurse REI Club?
That was before. This was actually a couple years before.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Was,
So
2017, I think.
Okay, so that sounds about the same, right? Same process, right?
Yeah.
And that's my point. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like there's no new or magical way to wholesale. Like these are the steps. 1, 2, find the property, or distressed seller or motivated seller, whatever you want to call it, and you gotta market to whatever group you want to market to. If you in your case, it was an absentee owner. That's who you wanted to market. Absentee owners, because they're not, like you said, highly motivated. It's not cash flowing. They don't live in the property. So you sent them a mailer, a postcard, or you could have just called them, I don't know, could have found, there's different ways of contacting them. So what I'm saying is you were provided with steps, you follow the steps, you sat at closing table, and you got paid. And it's really, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's just a lot of little things in those steps that you do.
It is. Like you said, it really wasn't hard. Like to me, nursing was harder than that. Like it was harder than nursing is harder than wholesaling. But it can be tedious because there are certain steps that you have to take, and if you don't follow the steps, you can kind of mess the deal up if you're not careful. So you just have to really pay attention to the steps and follow the steps. But usually when you do that, then you get to the end goal.
You get to the closing table and you get a check.
Which is the end goal, exactly.
That's the end goal. And so many people say, I hate wholesaling, but that wholesaling teaches you so much about, in fact, real estate.
It does.
I mean, you learn how to talk to sellers, you learn how to find properties, you learn how to market, you learn how to talk to buyers, you learn how to estimate, estimate repairs, you learn how to talk to contractors. I mean, you learn so much. There's so much you can learn just by wholesaling one deal. And then at the end of the thing, shoot, you get a check. Come on now, you get paid for life.
Absolutely.
And you build.
And another thing. Mm-hmm. You build confidence for sure. Because once you get through the process, like, oh, okay, I got this, I can do this. So you build your confidence. You build your network, because now you have a seller, and especially if that seller has more than one property.
Bingo.
If the deal goes well, 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to come back to you first, like, hey, property number 1 went good. I got property
got
number
another
2.
one.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but what about the buyer?
Absolutely. Yes, so you build rapport with the buyer. So if you, and this is why it's important to really do your research as far as the price and not overprice your property, because as a wholesaler, you as any real estate investor, you want to make sure you have a reputable persona, a reputation. You want to make sure you have integrity. Because wholesalers kind of get a bad rap for being like the used car salesman of the real estate industry, So, because you have some wholesalers that'll sell you pure trash and try to sell it for like $500,000. Like,
really? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no.
Yeah.
So you want to make money, but you want to have integrity with it. So when you do your numbers, when you crush your numbers, you want to make sure you don't overreach too much. You don't want to do that. Right. And then for how that relates to your buyers, when your buyers see you bringing them solid deals that are, that are good, have good prices, a lot of times they'll call you or email you like, hey, you had a good property for me to close on. And, I'm looking to rehab my next house. What you got for me?
Yeah.
So they'll be willing to come back and work with you because, you did right.
You did right.
So.
Yeah. And it makes your job a whole lot easier, especially after your first deal. Like you said, you build that confidence. You already got a seller in your pocket. You got a buyer in your pocket. You got a title company in your pocket, right?
A title company, yes.
Yeah, because you got to have a good title company. Yeah. So you got these people who now you're starting to build a network, and then guess what? They're going to start sending their friends or whoever, Leah, she helped me get rid of my property, or, as a buyer, this particular buyer might like 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. Well, then another buyer might like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, or 4 bedrooms. Then that one buyer would say, this doesn't meet my criteria, but hey, my friend over here, he likes to buy in this neighborhood. You get what I'm saying? So it makes wholesaling a lot easier. I know I've said it several times, wholesaling isn't my favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's like an ATM machine. If I want to go out and like my Harley Davidson I bought, guess what? That was a wholesale deal. Cash.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yay.
And I'm saying, yeah. If you want, and it's that cash that you can get, once you build momentum and you start thinking, and then you'll start thinking of ways or things to buy. Like, I think I'll go wholesale a property this month,
Right.
So, absolutely. I don't want to pay cash for a car. Let me wholesale a property, because you can. Yeah, you can really make. And then not only that, but you're able to cherry pick. Let's say you saw that property and it fit something. The numbers worked and you could afford it, and you're like, I think I want to keep this one. I don't want to wholesale this one. Well, guess what? You can keep it. Exactly. So, and that's how so many wholesalers turn into long-term investors, buy and hold investors, because they wholesale and they learn the game, and they're like, I'm just sitting here giving away something that could be in my family for years and years. Why don't I keep it? So my thing was wholesale 1, or wholesale 2, buy 1, wholesale 3, buy 1. So with the capital, you can just take that and purchase a property. And you're cherry picking it. You get to keep what you want. So I think it's great. Absolutely. So we got that part, and then also your passively investing as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did that through the Nurse REI Club. That's through the passive investment tier program, where I believe you're investing into like one of your real estate deals or one of the other Nurse REI Club members' real estate deals. And for instance, I guess I think I did, can't remember what I did, but I invested in, I think it was December of last year. And then my payout is supposed to be for October of this year.
Yep.
So I'm waiting for that to roll in. So it was like I got the percentage.
It was a pretty high percentage, but a return, yeah. But I think you're actually the last one of the first set of investors to get. You were the last one to come in. And so everybody else has got their payout. You're the last one, so pretty good. Yeah.
My birthday's in October, so I played it out.
Oh, that's gonna be a good birthday gift. So yeah, so that's kind of cool, and it's a way for the nurses to ease their way into investing in real estate. You know, to say, okay, if I just invest, put it here, I don't have to do anything, because some nurses just don't have time. I'm be honest, they just don't. They want to get into real estate, but they don't have time, and so that's a cool way. And then you're also in funding the block. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I am in funding the block. I'm Donna Risby, yes.
So just tell a little bit about funding the block, how that started. Do you know the story, how that started?
Hmm?
Do you know how that started?
Uh-huh. I remember Donna telling the story. I don't remember all of the details. But I know Donna Risby, I know she's a financial advisor. She's also a nurse out of California. And she's had a couple different investment groups. And then she wanted to do one for real estate for us nurses.
Yeah.
Who wants to invest in real estate, build generational wealth, and, be a way to try to help rehab, I guess, some of the not so good looking parts of some cities. Like, for instance, there's a deal we're looking at in Detroit.
Yeah.
There's one we're looking at in Sacramento. And I think there's another one that we're looking at also. So
yeah.
So that's passive investment as well.
Yes, yes. And so Donna is also a member of the Nurse REI Club. For those of you who don't know her, I mean, who doesn't know Donna Risby? But
right, who doesn't know Donna?
I know.
No,
so
absolutely.
She is awesome. So the very first deal that Funding the Block did was for the Nurse REI Club. So they loaned us, like, I want to say $25,000 or $20,000. $20,000 to rehab our first property that we purchased together, and it just made it so much easier to be able to have essentially your own bank. The nurses were able to just say, here's the property, here are the details, and this is what we need. And for them to say, okay, obviously they assessed everything and ran the numbers, and it made sense that if we didn't pay them back, they would have a nice property. So yeah. Yeah. And so that I think it was like 90 days. So it was one of those loans where, it was a quick, we need a rehab done, and then we'll pay you back in 90 days with interest. And we did it. So it worked. It really worked for, the Nurse REI Club and Funding the Block. So a lot of our members belong to both. Yeah, the Nurse REI Club and Funding the Block. So it's really cool.
It's a good synergistic, type of relationship. The two work well together. They do.
Oh yeah, and I like to say group economics is like by far like the best. You can get there much faster in a group, pooling your money together and, passively investing versus doing it yourself. So I always say that use other people's money. So a lot of people like that.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So oh yeah. So tell me one thing, or tell us one thing that you wish you would have known before you started investing in real estate.
So one thing that I wish I would have known is don't do it alone. Don't do real estate investing alone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go farther, go together, go with other people. I was and this is just me. This is just Leia. I've been like this all my life. I'm used to just doing everything on myself. I'm used to traveling by myself. I'm used to, doing everything by myself. You would think that I was an only child. I'm not, but this is how I operate. But
Right.
I'm learning with real estate investing is that when you have a team of people, different things, because there's no way that you can do everything and know everything. It's just so many different aspects and pieces of the puzzle. You can't. There's no way.
Yep.
So if you really want to be successful, successful, you have to have a team of different people to do different things. You have to network. Again, different people have different areas of expertise, but they can bring them all together to help you do your real estate deals. So that's one thing. I came into it with the mindset of I'm gonna go do this by myself. I'm gonna do this. And then I'm like, no, you're not. You have to chill out, see what you can do your part that you're good at, but don't be afraid to reach out to other people and say, hey, you're good at crunching numbers. Everybody, and that's a basic that everybody should know, but some people have a knack for numbers. And, can you help me with this? Can you look over I did a preliminary something. Can you look over it and see, am I thinking?
Just like in nursing. Right? Just like in nursing.
Just like in nursing. Check this insulin and make sure I have 5 instead of 50 units,
Right.
Or, this patient can get out of bed. I think I may be okay by myself, but if I have that extra person, it just makes the process of transferring from the bed to the chair a little bit easier.
Yep.
So if you take that mindset from nursing of we need a team to take care of the patient, you need a team to take care of your real estate property. So, you take that same skill and apply it to real estate. You have to develop relationships with other investors, create a team to help you succeed. And I wish another thing I wish I had known then, I have a better understanding now, is how money and credit work. Money and credit drives the real estate industry like big. Cash, and more cash, So if you have an understanding of how cash works, OPM, other people's money, I really was under the impression when I first started that I had to do it on myself. So if I saw a property for $25,000, this is a good property. It'll be nice if I can get it, fix it up, rent it out. I really thought that I had to go work double, triple overtime to get the $25,000 myself and buy the property. That was my mindset when I first started. Now it's like, let me call up Funding the Block and see if I can get this $25,000 for this property. So those are two things that I wish I had known, but that I know now. So I'm going to definitely use moving forward. Number one, a team and having other people to help you. And number two, understanding how cash and credit work. If you come in with that mindset of those two things, it will definitely make the process a lot smoother for you.
Absolutely. Cash is king and credit is queen.
It's queen, absolutely. Yes, it is.
Yes, I agree totally. So let's talk about some resources. What are some of the resources that have helped you along the way?
REIA meetings, so like the meetups at the REIA meetings, great resources. And a lot of times they have free resources as well. A lot of times sometimes you can meet one person at a REIA meeting and they give you resources for everybody, for everything you could ever need. Sometimes you just need that one person. So REIA meetings are really good resources. I found that the library is also a good resource. There's like a real estate, when you go to the book section, there's a real estate investing section. There are books on how to do different types of real estate, how to grants, apply for grants, applying for loans, real estate networking. So the library is a really good resource also. So REIA meetings, there is a blog called Bigger Pockets, and I'm pretty sure you talked about Bigger Pockets before in your podcast, but they have a lot of good articles from people who do real estate investing. A lot of times they tell you step by step what they did, and if you want to try to follow them, you can. They give good advice on things to be careful of things to do, things to watch. So those are, I would say, probably my top 3 resources: the REIA meetings, the library, and like online blogs like Bigger Pockets.
Yes. And let me tell you about Bigger Pockets, what happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday, one of my partners sent me he got a mobile home park under contract. And he was like, hey, do you have a buyer, for this park? He said, I just got it under contract, we'll JV the deal. Now this is a wholesale deal. Remember we talked about wholesale and how once you get build a network of people and you get to learn people and they learn you and the integrity and all that, it goes a long, long, long way. So this mobile home park is in Mississippi. And my partner lives in now I think he lives in, I want to say, Missouri. So he emailed me, gave him a call, we got to chopping it up. And then I'm going to tell you about Bigger Pockets. So I was like, I remember somebody saying that they were a mobile home park investor on Bigger Pockets. And I was like, let me just go ahead. And so I went in the search bar and I searched mobile home park, right, in Bigger Pockets. And then I found like 3 or 4 investors. That's all they do is invest in mobile home parks. Well, I woke up, I just put a little blurb and said something, in the thread, like, this just came across my desk today. Don't know if you're interested. If you are, let me know. Well, I woke up this morning, I had like 3 to 4 messages. One of those messages, they were interested. So one of those messages was a doctor. And he said, I read your bio. He said, it says that you're a retired nurse. Is that right? So he just sends me this long message. And then he says, well, I am a part-time physician. And then he got to telling me about his real estate, what he does, what he's done. He said he's a private money lender. So boom, need more money? I can hit him up. Then he says, I invest in apartment buildings. So boom, if an apartment building comes my way that I need to either find another investor to go in with me or go in on a deal, or if I want to just wholesale it to him, bam, that's number 2. So then number 3, he says he's obviously a mobile home park investor. He's invested in quite a few of them. That's a buyer. So something else he said, and so anyway, he sent me his email, sent me his phone number. So I emailed him, tagged my partner who has the park under contract. I tagged, I put him in the email thread. I introduced them, and I stepped out of the way because my job was done. So that took about, let's say, to go to Bigger Pockets, go on a search, and type maybe 2 sentences. That took about, let's say, 10 minutes. Right. Okay. And then to read those emails today, that took about, let's say, another 10 minutes. To link them up on an email, well, an email only takes a couple minutes, right? So let's say 30 minutes tops to potentially get, I don't want to talk about how much I'm going to get.
Hey.
It's a lot.
Maybe the armor truck. May need the armor truck to pull up outside the house.
Right, to joint venture on a mobile home park. And then there were other, the other people responded, and I did the same thing. I connected them with my partner, but that's building relationships. We've done deals together, we've done work together. So the integrity is already there. So I don't know if this is true, and I don't know, he sent me the executive summary, he sent everything. So, it's just, I'm telling you, it didn't take much for me to connect a buyer with the seller, with the wholesaler, and to make this money. It may take 30 to 45 days for them to close, but guess what? That's a deal that's in the pipeline, and I'm moving on about my business. So that Bigger, I said all that to say. Say what?
10 minutes for X amount. I mean, hey, you have to work a whole hour at work to get a percentage of that. So
a percentage of that.
10 minutes sounds good to me.
Yeah, and so I'm like, and it's those little things like that that I say, wholesaling, once you do your own few deals or whatever, I've done a lot, but once you do your own deals and you build this network, you really don't have to look for properties anymore. You don't have to look for deals. They will find you, trust me.
They will find you. That's true.
They will find
That's
you.
true.
And I say that all the time. You got to put in the work though initially, you know, for new investors or new people who want to get in real estate investing. You got to put the work in. You know, you got to talk to people. I just don't believe in moving in silence like that. No, you don't tell your business, but you tell what you do as a business.
Yeah.
You know, you don't tell your personal business. Yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
But I mean, if people don't know what you do, how are you going to be a part of a network?
Right. They're not going to know. They're not going to know to come to you. They're not going to know to ask you. They're not going to know to send you referrals.
Nothing.
You know, they're not going to know. So you have to put yourself out there professionally, business-wise.
Exactly. So big shout out to Bigger Pockets because, hey, I mean, I found quite a few mobile home park buyers on that. So, you know, just things like that. Yeah, that was really cool. So yes, resources, utilize them. You know, always say REIAs. Go to your local REIAs. Now that COVID's here, it doesn't matter. They do them online. Like you said, you're attending one tonight in Houston. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a plethora of real estate investors, title company, attorneys, all kinds of people, you know, that you're going to be able to tap into because you're utilizing your resources. So last question, and we're going to go. I know we could talk about this forever and ever and ever, but so what advice would you give other nurses who want to pursue real estate investing?
So my advice, my real life advice is to jump in. Like, boom. Like how, you know, when you swim, the only way for you to learn how to swim is to get into the water. You know, you're not going to learn how to swim if you stay on the side of the pool. Exactly. Or if you stay on the sand. You know, you have to jump into the water. And I say this because analysis paralysis is a real thing. And I have analysis paralysis. I know, right? What is that? What is analysis paralysis? So analysis paralysis is when you do so much research on a topic that you like kind of freeze yourself into fear of not moving forward on that topic that you want to do. And you end up doing nothing. You end up doing nothing because you read so much, and it can be overwhelming, especially if you're now starting out. You know, there's so much information and there's so much, you know, legality and there's so much math and there's so much, you know, and if you're not careful, you can actually research yourself into not doing anything. And that's what I did for a while. And I have this thing of talking myself out of doing things that I want to do, which is a bad habit I have, and I'm working on getting rid of it. But the advice I have is to do it scared, jump in and do it. Because the only way you're going to learn is to do it. There's some people who can read and get it. Me, I have to put my hands on it and do it, touch it, feel it, and then that's how I learn. So, but the only way to either learn real estate or to get any results out of real estate is to do. You can't just sit and read a book. Reading blogs and things like that, articles. It will give you knowledge, which is good because you don't want to go just willy-nilly doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But with real estate, it's one of those things you have to do it. It's just like nursing. You can go to nursing school and complete your degree and graduate. You may even take the license exam. But until you get the hands-on experience with nursing, you're not going to know how to be a nurse without that hands-on experience. You have to do it. You have to go to a hospital. You have to go to a clinic. You have to go to a nursing home. You got to go somewhere. You have to take care of some people. You got to touch some people. You got to listen to some hearts and lungs. You got to do the hands-on work to really know it. And the same thing translates into real estate. So that would be my advice to anybody who's new, who's looking to jump in, but don't know where to start. The thing is to jump.
Yep.
You gotta jump. Because if not, then you're gonna remain on the sidelines.
Yeah, and you're gonna regret it.
Yeah, yes. You're gonna be like, man, I should have did that, back then, So even if you do the passive investing, because like you said, there's some people are so busy they don't have the time for the hands-on stuff. But even with passive investing, you still have to give your money. So you do want to research who you're giving your money to. You want to make sure it's a reputable person. You want to make sure that you want to make sure the ROI or the return on investment makes sense. You want to, so you do want to do some research. But in order for your money to make money, you got to invest it. So if it just sits in your bank or under the mattress or wherever you have it, if it's not working, then nothing's going to happen.
It ain't happening. Thank you. That was good, Leah. Thank you so much. So, how can people find you? What are your social media handles?
Well, I am on Facebook as myself, Leia Osbourne. I am on Instagram, Leia_Royale. You can inbox me. I'm always checking my Facebook Messenger, so I'm quick to reply. You can find me also in the front of the block and Nurse REI Club membership groups.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to ask me if you want to ask me any questions. If I know the answer, I will help you out. If I don't, I will try to find somebody else that can help you out.
All right. There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining, stopping by. This was awesome. To the next time.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, Tasha. Thank you.
Yes.